So this is how I start my lasagna. First of all, I brown some good uh, ground beef. What I do is I roast it in the pan without any oil first, and then I throw away all that extra fat and let it drain in a drainer. And then I put it back with some very good oil, like extra virgin olive oil, and season it. Season it with Italian season, with basil and thyme, and of course salt, good salt, the Himalayan salt, and pepper, some of the red pepper. So anyway, I season it and let it rest. And then in another pan, after I cut up all of these goodies here, and you can see how it is starting to percolate here. So those are mushrooms and onions, of course, and red peppers and spring onions and parsley. And so I let this simmer for a little bit before I put some seasoning into that. So nothing out of any can yet, although I'm going to add a little bit out of a can, some canned tomatoes, and then also out of the jar some sauce that I have done before. And I'm going to show you when I add it to show you how this is nicely percolated. I have it on high because it needs a high temperature but you have to stir it now and then, so don't let it sit just because the bottom will burn, so don't let that happen. You don't have to stir it all the time, just now and then. So now I let it rest a little bit again. It is not really a very cheap lasagna. As a matter of fact, it's pretty expensive. And it's because of all of the good ingredients. For example, these cheeses are a little pricey, but it's all worth it. So there is Parmesan cheese, and of course there is mozzarella cheese, quite a bit. And I also like to add some Mexican, because it has different cheeses in them. And of course you absolutely need some ricotta cheese. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to put all of this together. And what I have here is actually a sauce that I had done a few days before, and then I put it in the fridge. This is the sauce that I also use for my spaghetti sauce. And so I will use some of that as well. And it's basically started with something that I'm doing here right now. So it's just to add some volume a little bit later. So in this rather large pot, I'm going to boil water, and I just already put some kosher salt in there. I like kosher salt for cooking. And then I'm going to put the lasagna, the pasta in there. Okay, so, but the water has to boil first, really boil hard. And then I will put the lasagna, the pasta in, rather not the lasagna, the lasagna pasta in, and let it cook for about 8, maximum 10 minutes, because I don't want it to be soft. I want it to be al dente, because it still goes into the big pan layered with all of the other goodies I have. So it's going to cook some more in the oven, at least for another 35 to 40 minutes. I have my mixture. I put this together myself. So this is, you see, I have it in my little tub here. So this is red pepper flakes, and there are all kinds of Italian spices in there, including basil and thyme and a little bit oregano. Oregano is really important. And I think there are even some more in there. So it's a combination of Italian spices or Italian herbs and the red that you see in there is actually the pepper. So you have to be careful not to put too much pepper in there unless you want your lasagna very spicy. So I'm putting this mixture into my dish right here. Good. Not too much. Just enough. And this smells amazing. Smells amazing. But you see how this has already reduced quite a bit? Okay. So I let this cook for maybe another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to put the more liquid sauces in there. So here we have the canned tomato. Well, there are stewed tomatoes. It doesn't make sense to use all of the fresh tomatoes and stew them. I always add some in the end, but this is what goes right here. So let's pour this in. Okay. Some of the liquid will disappear through the cooking process. Okay. So now I may want to put this up a little bit again because this is cold and this just needs to heat up. So I mix it. Look how beautiful this looks. This is going into my lasagna. It smells unbelievably wonderful. Oh, do you know what I forgot? I forgot garlic. I just smell it and I said, something is missing. Garlic is missing. So I better cut up some garlic and roast it separately in a little pan and then add it to this mixture. Okay? I chopped some garlic and I roast it a little bit in here, and then I put it in here. The water is boiling. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil so the pasta doesn't stick. Just like that. The salt is already in there. This is starting to brown a little bit. We don't let it brown, we just let it get golden. Okay? So this is about right now. Perfect. Nicely golden. Okay. Maybe 30 more seconds. You have to be very careful because this can get brown very quickly and you don't want it brown because when it gets dark brown, then it's really burned. Don't let it burn. So that's about right now. I added that to the mixture and now I just let it be mixed properly so it's spread evenly amongst the mixture. Our sauce here. I mean, this smells just so delicious. I wish you could smell this. It's wonderful. Okay, let this go slowly, maybe on, not on medium, a little less than medium, but cover it up and let it just percolate for another 10 to 15 minutes. Actually, as long as it takes for the pasta to get al dente. I'm going to put the pasta in right now. I've used a little bit of a larger pot. So this is the pasta boiling there now. Should really be, the larger the pot, actually the better it is. So, but, well, it will do. So let this boil for about, let's say, I'm going to test it at about 12 minutes. Boiling really hot, really nice. This is warming up. And in the meantime, what I have done here, I have put all of the cheeses together. Look at this, it's a mountain of cheese. It's a lot of cheese and the ricotta cheese. And please don't use skim. I think it really only tastes really nice if you use whole milk or the full fat. Okay, so I have used about a little more than half of this. Put this in this container here, and I added a raw egg. Now I'm going to mix this and also mix some of this cheese in there. It's a combination of Parmesan and Romano cheese, and I will show you when it's all mixed up how it looks. This is how I mix it. I don't know if you need to see that because I always have to hold the camera with one hand and work with the other. It's not easy. Okay, but you get the. So this is now ready. I put a little bit of the cheese on top. Okay. This is all nicely mixed. This is ready. This is getting heated up. This is almost ready to come out. This is ready too. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put the meat into the sauce. Okay? So just mix the meat under. Just fold it under. So this is our sauce that will go between the layers of pasta and cheese, different cheeses. And I'm going to show you, this is the pan. I'm going to show you how this is all going to work. One moment. Okay, just mixing that a little more, and then I start layering it. So I'm cooling down the lasagna, the pasta, the lasagna pasta a little bit so I can handle it, because I actually have to handle it, picking it up with my hands and layering it in a moment. So here I show you a little trick that I do. Sometimes, more or less all the time, you have quite a bit of liquid here because you have only natural ingredients, and you don't want to cook it, so much that you have no liquids anymore. To kind of let it become less liquid, I sometimes use the tomato paste. It kind of binds it all a little bit more together, and it also gives it a more vibrant red color. So, okay, just wanted to show you how I do this, and now you don't have that extra liquid. It kind of binds it all together nicely. Now you may have noticed that I did not use the prepared sauce that I did a few days ago. I decided not to use it maybe by itself for pasta, not to mix it with this, because it would diminish the redness, the color a little bit. So I wanted to keep it as fresh as possible. Okay, so although I have already put parsley in it, at the very end I usually put a little more parsley in it to let some of the green color come through it as well. So we cut up the parsley. Okay, just taking it all and putting it right in. Okay, we are ready. I actually tasted it, and it needed just a little bit more of the spices, the herbs, and a little bit more salt, because you want it to. You don't want it to taste bland. You want it to taste really juicy and just a little bit spicy. Okay. So on top of that first layer of sauce, you layer the first layer of the pasta. Okay, so the bottom the sauce, then the pasta. Now I'm going to add another layer of the sauce, and then I start with the cheese. Just have a look at it. I have to put down the camera because I cannot do everything holding the camera and doing it at the same time, but I will show it to you when it's layered. Okay, so the sauce is on top of the pasta, and now I'm going to add the cheese. Okay. I put the cheese and also all kinds of dabs of the ricotta on top there. So what I do now is, hold on, as you can see, I used more of the cheese and put Parmesan cheese on top. So that's the layer. It's pasta, sauce, ricotta cheese, the other cheeses, and Parmesan on top. And now I'm going to start the process all over with the pasta and then the sauce and the cheeses. I will show you when it's done. The second layer of pasta. Now I put on the sauce and the cheeses. I already put the ricotta cheese on. And now comes this cheese. Look at it. Just a nice thick layer of these mixed cheeses. Romano, mozzarella, a little bit of Mexican cheese, Parmesan. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, last layer of pasta and sauce, not all that much there anymore. And then we don't have any ricotta anymore. At the end, we only put this cheese on and the Parmesan, and that will be it. And then it goes into the pasta, and then we sprinkle the cheese on, and then it goes in the oven. Let's do it. All the cheeses are on. Everything is empty. And at the very end, what I like to do is just sprinkle a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil over it, just a touch, just a little bit. This is empty anyway, almost, so it's perfect. And then I like to, I like to add just a touch of, I have to, wait. You remember that special herb concoction I have here? Yeah. So I just be very careful because it's pretty hot and spicy. So I just like to add a little bit of this on top. This is it. This is the pan. This is the lasagna. A big, heavy thing. It's going into the oven right now for the next 35 to 40 minutes until the top is brown. I will show it to you when it's ready. This was heavy. It's not ready. I just put it into the oven. So here it goes into the oven. Close it. We have 370. So that's perfect temperature. Okay, 40 minutes later, we are ready. Let me pull it out and you can see it better. Lasagne after Angelika Christie. That's my best tasting lasagna. Everybody who tastes it says so, and not just my family. I hope you liked the recipe. I showed you how to put it together, and try it out yourself. It's not a cheap dish, but this will last for a while. This will feed at least 16 people. Okay, bye. Let me just add something to that. If you only have 2 or 4 people in your household, first of all, you have to wait. You cannot eat it right away. You have to wait at least half an hour. It kind of needs to settle a little bit. And let me tell you that the next day, if you, for example, I made this evening, so I'm going to keep this overnight and we're going to eat it tomorrow. And half of it, because there are only between 2 and 3 in our household, half of it I will portion and freeze. And if you don't keep it longer than a maximum a month, it tastes really great if you defrost it and eat it. So you can you don't have to eat it all in one sitting. Okay.